I mean, that's not the determining factor.
It looks like it the way he's digging here.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
I told him he could do everything. I said, if you start going vertical, I said, before I get a chance to even go to the council.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's, I think he's looking to move forward as fast as possible. He wants to get it open by fall, so. That's the hope. And they'll be in we've talked about this a bunch of times, but it'll be in the old, or in, not the old, Gromax land right next to the quarry.
With the road that we vacated 2 weeks ago. Yep.
Or, actually, it's
Coming up.
Oh, is that on this one too?
Yeah, it's the-
Okay, we talked about it a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So what do we need from here? Anything? Motion to, anything, nothing, just agreement?
As long as everybody's okay with it, we can just move forward. You can make a motion that you intend to pass the development agreement. It's not binding because you don't have a development agreement, so it doesn't really, as long as he knows that everybody's supportive, then I can pass that along.
No, I would be for it.
Okay.
I would be in favor of it,
I agree.
unless there's somebody that isn't in favor of it.
Growth is always good.
No.
It'd be nice to see him out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So just agreement's good enough then for you?
Yep, I will pass along the message.
Okay. Now we go vertical. Discussion and possible action on a proposed development agreement for Ryan Harklaw.
Ryan's planning to develop the land directly to the south of Eagle Ridge. This partnership would take the same form as the work with Humboldt County Housing Development Corporation on Eagle Ridge. Tax increment financing would be used to pay for the road, with the electric and gas extension paid for by Humboldt County Housing Development Corporation and Ryan Harklaw. That would be essentially a 50-50 split. There's 4 lots on either side of the road. I think I've got a picture up here to kind of, you can see it's all of this land to the south here, and so he'd have to replat this area, and then there would be a subsequent vacation of Christie Circle, and then a small chunk up in the corner. But I think this is a pretty strong development for the community, because you get an additional 4 houses in that southern part that wouldn't normally be there. And so you're getting more housing on the same amount of infrastructure. You've still got the same road you would have had to put in, the same sewer, same water, all of that's the same, except for this vacant land will now be split out into new houses, and I'm sure they'll be pretty considerable sized houses. So I think it's a good situation. The tax increment financing, the big advantage with going this way and capturing the tax increment financing on this side is it's the more residential housing that we can capture in it, the quicker that the tax increment financing will be retired, because you've just got more taxes, and so you're drawing all that money in. You pay down the bond quicker, the quicker that those taxes revert back to normal distribution. And so that's the nice advantage of drawing in the southern part here.
The district's already been established, so we can basically, right?
Yes, the district's been established, but there will be an amendment onto the urban
okay.
renewal area, because when we first established it, we took everything north of Eagle Ridge, because this land was, we thought it was completely unavailable. I think, pretty sure a few people reached out and it wasn't for sale, and so I think I wish I would have included it at this point, because we'll pay an extra probably $1,000 to get this urban renewal plan updated. But you know, it's just, where do you stop those boundaries? One of the things the state looks at is if you're drawing too much land into a tax increment financing district, they start to look negatively on that. So you try and draw it as small as you can, but in this case, unfortunately, we'll have to add some additional land that wasn't caught the first time. So,
Will the initial road up for the Harklaw addition, or whatever it's gonna be called, go all the way over to Elmhurst Avenue
yes.
from, on this, with this proposal?
It would carry it all the way through.
Right.
And so you'd bring it all the way over to Elmhurst, and so there's another added benefit. There's been some water issues that DeWinters have been dealing with it kind of coming off of Elmhurst and going back towards their property. So that'll capture that, it'll relieve their water issue. Additionally, much easier to snowplow, the fact that they can come all the way through and out. And like I said, it opens up all those lots. So, a little bit different than what we thought. I think everybody thought we were gonna go up the first road there first, rather than coming back to Eagle, or back to Elmhurst. But, you know, with this potential to get that development in there, I think these are lots that are probably in quite a bit higher demand than the internal lots. It's not that those won't fill out, but I think they'll take much longer than, you know, if you get a 3 or 4 wooded lots along the outside.
I think it's a great idea.
So do
We had
I.
a real
Yeah.
good discussion on
Yeah.
that at the housing meeting,
No.
and I think it's really gonna be good. I can't see why it
Yeah.
wouldn't go up.
So the minimal money that we're gonna pay for an adjustment to the original tip district amendment, I mean, that's.
Would that be our cost, or would that be Ryan's cost on the change?
The urban renewal plan is the city's, because it's not a development, and so it's our urban renewal.
Mhm.
And so, you know, it's an amendment to one that captures, you know, thousands of residents, or not thousands of residents, hundreds of residents,
Mhm.
so.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, I can't believe those lots to the southeast or south, to our bottom right there, those would be highly desirable,
Mhm.
you know.
So, you know, good tax base, and one of the benefits of this section is that the water and sewer actually already went through this area. Those come down and go back towards Leroy Witzel's property, down on Elmhurst. And so, the services are already there, with the exception of getting the road, the street and curb in, and then, just getting it stubbed out from underneath the road so you don't end up with a street cut when development does occur.
Would the Christie Circle still wind up being there, or that would come
No,
out? That'd be
no,
good.
both of these sections would have to be vacated. So you'd vacate this, and that's something we'll have to probably have a work session on, is, you know, what sort of cost do you think is appropriate for the vacation of Christie Circle? I've already talked with him a little bit about that. And then this small pie piece is kind of messing up the plat too, so you bring this back in like a normal right-of-way, rather than having it extend all the way to the south like it currently does. So,
What kind of a timeline is he looking at it in?
he actually has the frontage for his house. He's planning on putting it in this area.
Okay.
So he wants to get started right away on this, but the remainder of it, honestly, the urban renewal plan, getting the engineering, getting the legal descriptions, going through the hearings, I mean, I'm guessing we're probably putting foundations in for winter work at this point. I would be shocked if things move much quicker. And from talking with him and Bertie, who does the majority of the houses, I think that, you know, nobody's in a huge rush. He's in a rush to get into his house, but
His
he
own
understands
personal
that,
residence, yeah.
you know, it takes time. But this is very similar to the other cities scenario with Mitch Fridolfson. Wanted to make sure that everybody's on board with the urban renewal amendment to the urban renewal plan. And then the potential vacation, or the eventual vacation of those 2 parcels of land to make this development. And then subsequently with the tax equity financing to fund the road, and let's see what else needs to go forward. And so being he's moving forward now, giving him the knowledge that the council intends to move forward with everything the way that it is, because he's moving essentially his house is getting moved around on this scenario, because the rest of them would come for development. If they weren't going to be developed, or if the city didn't intend to move forward, then I think he'd probably move his house further west. So,
That's what I was wondering. Would there be any repercussions if he decided not to move ahead with the development, and then, I mean, if we,
Spend money.
No.
yeah, I mean, would he reimburse us if,
well, I mean,
whatever fees that would be involved?
you know, it's a little bit of it, we've got to kind of get the amendment together and do these things. I think that, you know, considering his, you know, ties to the
He's
community.
gonna
Good,
He's
good
not-
faith
Yeah,
intentions,
he's
yeah.
gonna move ahead.
Yeah,
There's no-
considering,
Okay.
I've had that conversation with Ryan, I said, you know, when we move forward, I really need you to be 100% on this,
Right.
because once I start spending taxpayer dollars to get the plan together and get everything together for the development, I don't wanna get, you know, 2/3 of the way through, and then it's like, well, let's do something different.
Just
So
try to change your
we've
plans,
had
yeah.
quite a few conversations to make sure that he was planning on moving forward with it the way that we would discuss it. It's not to say that there isn't still a lot of, you know,
Oh,
work
sure.
and conversation. But I think that we've talked through the different scenarios and he is on board. I would really doubt, and I've been talking with, obviously, Mark Aarons, about, you know, getting things together too, with it being his daughter, so.
Okay, great.
So there was an agreement, no dissension or anything, so?
I don't think so.
Good. I guess you got your marching orders in.
I will continue to put that together.
Alrighty, have a wonderful project. Next, we need a motion to approve a transfer application for Gary P. Stottleman doing business as Frank's Naughty Pine to the Humboldt County Fairgrounds, May 30th, 2015 through May 31st, 2015 for the Chamber of Commerce Annual Appreciation Event. Ready to order, Blair?
We're just waiting for Dram Shop to go through.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Under resolutions, we need a resolution to approve the following proposed resolution number 2015-42. A resolution approving an agreement with Jeff Weiss, doing business as Weiss Septic Pumping and Hauling of Barnum, Iowa, for the discharge of effluent into the city sanitary sewer treatment system.
Just a normal septic agreement that we have with all the providers, which actually we found out that this is the only provider that still uses it. And it just gives the company authorization to use the facilities at the normal rate, which I think is 6 cents.
The crew, crew's not doing it anymore?
Clint said he sold all the
Oh,
equipment.
okay.
I think this is who he sold
I know they
it
used to, okay.
So moved. Second.
Roll call vote?
Goodell,
Aye.
Slater,
Aye.
Scholl,
Aye.
Rusher,
Aye.
Davis.
All right. Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2015-43. A resolution approving pay estimate number 7 from Sand Construction Supply Company of Humboldt, Iowa, in the amount of $31,952.56 for the Humboldt Municipal Airport Conventional Hangar Building Construction Project.
Favorite term here, the hangar has mainly punch list items left. There's some big pieces of concrete and seating still to be removed, but they've done a very nice job with it. I think the hangar looks really good.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call vote?
Slater,
Aye.
Scholl,
Aye.
Rusher,
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Goodell.
Aye.
Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2015-44. A resolution amending the current budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th of 2015.
Just the budget amendment as reviewed during the public hearing. Just formally approved.
So moved. Second.
Roll call vote?
Scholl,
Aye.
Rusher,
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Goodell,
Aye.
Slater.
Aye.
Under ordinances, we need a motion to approve the first reading of the following proposed ordinance. An ordinance of providing for the vacation of lot number 5 of Landover Lands, second edition to the city of Humboldt County, Iowa, and further providing for the disposal of said parcel and conveying it to the owner of the adjoining property.
This is the first reading to transfer the land that was dedicated for road to Landover Lands, second edition. It's a benefit to the city because the road's expensive to maintain over the life of the property. The highway connection will make no street necessary with the larger building on the 3 lots. Mitch is hoping to start construction on the building soon, so it can be operational by fall. And if you've noticed a change, this is how Eric would like us to handle these vacations and conveyances in the future. Just more documentation, more readings, more opportunity for public input. I don't think anyone's ever commented on one of these, but it does give people a chance to say something. He'd further like, if it's a contentious parcel of land, they go through planning and zoning for public input, or from input from planning and zoning, if it's a tough piece. But I think most of these that we put through are pretty obvious that there's not a lot of other use, especially this is a perfect example.
Move to approve.
Are we still able to waive readings?
We can
On this?
waive readings. We didn't waive readings on this. I don't,
Can we
this
make-
doesn't delay him at all.
Okay.
So he can still move forward.
Maybe we can waive, or do the second and third one at the next
Yeah.
meeting. Whatever.
Yeah.
Waive the third reading.
So moved, or second, excuse me.
Roll call vote?
Rusher.
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Goodell.
Aye.
Slater.
Aye.
Scholl.
Aye. That's it?
Okay. She. Did she want it?
I don't think so, I'll talk about that later.
Okay.
That's the last of our regular scheduled items. Aaron?
Just a few items to go over here. The bridge, I did get an update from the engineer. It sounds like things are continuing to move along really well on that. Looking at, and this pains me to say because I know as soon as I say it, the weather will turn awful, but it looks like it's gonna be June 8th is when we're completely open, everything done. That's earlier than I thought it was gonna be. I was saying mid-June, I didn't even think we'd have the staining completely finished by mid-June, so. Pray for some dry weather.
It'd be awesome if the water plant was done too.
Yeah.
Yeah, by June
Say you
8th.
drive by and it'll be.
Yeah,
And the sidewalk going up there.
yeah, what about, does that include Hobie's project? You know?
No, these are separate projects.
But
This
I'm-
is still,
What are we,
yes.
what kind of a timeline are we looking at with Hobie's project on breaking out those three sections and
With-
repouring them? or whatever
Hobie,
you-
we might have to go to a legal
Really?
comment, and essentially file something with him that states that we are about to break contract because he's not responding to any requests to have him finish the last two panels, so,
That are broken?
yes. So we might just have to cut ties with that one, say the retainage is ours, and I felt good.
But that could take a while.
That could take a while. But not as long as a water plant, I promise that.
But we've got enough left over
So
out
is he
here
off the list for?
for future projects in Humboldt?
Well, that's a really unfortunate thing, is he did, the retaining wall is very nice.
Yes.
But there's a property owner at the base of that hill that they never cleaned out, like they said they were going to, the runoff off the street that went into his yard.
Mhm.
That's incredibly infuriating that, you know, Wunsch is a perfect example of a contractor that did a very nice job with that. I would call Wunsch, and same day he'd be down there, you know, what's the problem? You know, how can we fix it? And this is just the complete opposite, where, you know, we notified him 6 months ago, 9 months ago, that he needed to remove it so we could get seeding in there, once the spring dates roll around. You know, we've had nothing but wet weather, you know, it's a good time to grow grass, and, unfortunately, that's not, he was not ready for it, and then the property owner actually took care of it because it was such a pain. And so, you know, did he do good work? Yes. Has he been responsive? Absolutely no. Absolutely not. So, you know, that's one of those things where if he, I wouldn't necessarily preclude him, but it might be a situation where if you're looking at a $10,000 difference, you might, you know, or a 5-10% difference, you might find it easier to go with a different contractor. Just take it into consideration when you review bids.
Do we have enough retainage left over to fix the current issues without having to?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, we have a significant amount of retainage left. So I think that it would easily cover any sort of, I mean, when you figure 2 panels and some seating.
Well, there's two by the light pole there, and then did the one on the south of the driveway to the entrance of the plant, did that one get fixed? Because there were actually 3 that I noticed.
Yeah.